What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with an all new episode of Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition. I completely forgot that they did take that Thanksgiving break because there wasn't a new episode last week because of Thanksgiving. So I'm like, oh wait, I forgot they said they would return. But let's get into it. So it's day 8, and day 8 is pretty much breaking down the wall. So everybody's pretty much talking about how the process has been going, and everybody's been talking about the process, and Tough and Money feel like, have they felt like they gotten any progress done? Have they moved forward with anything? Because Tough is ready to, he wants Money to let it go. But all of the progress that they have gotten towards were taken all the way back when his best friend came on the cam, when they were repeating all the negative things they've said to each other in front of someone they love. And now, since all those emotions came back up again, they're back at ground zero. But what I want Tuck to do is, as much as Money has been holding on to a over 10-year cheating that he's pretty much, done. He's pretty much done. And I don't know if she ever fully got the forgiving. Actually, she hasn't, because it took all this time for Tuck to realize what he did. Because Money was blaming herself why the cheating came. But that part was just, that part was getting to me. Then they're talking about, usually the last couple of days before the ceremony, they take their rings off and give it to the doctor so he can hide them until the ceremony for them to get their final moments, their final answer. So Neri and Nori are talking about the time that Nori proposed. He did not get down on one knee. He pretty much had a waiter come and get a plate for her and say, "Here you go, will you marry me?" So she wants him to do the gesture of getting down on one knee. So then Miles was talking about Nori and Neri, how their problems aren't as out there as Money's are, as me and Amber's are, because we've been vulnerable, Money's been vulnerable, but I haven't seen you guys fully shed exactly why you're here. I don't know why you guys are even here. I feel like you guys' issues are not as big as ours, but I think what Miles is trying to say is, if you guys are in such a disarray, I'm trying to find it because I can't find it. I think it's the emotion behind Nori and Neri, because I haven't seen them show not a lot of emotions as far as like what they want to accomplish out of being here. They want their marriage to get stronger, but I can't tell, because the only issues that we have heard are Nori's controlling, Nori's caveman mentality of trying to push Neri to have another kid, so that way this could be his chance to be present, as if being present for the kids he's already has that window left. Your kids are teenagers, they're not adults yet. You have time to build. And him not fully understanding why she needs to hang out with single friends when she's hanging out with me. I should be all that she needs. It's like the controlling factor that Neri don't have much of an issue. Well, actually, Nori don't have much of an issue when it comes to Neri. He just don't like that she's hanging out with single friends. But that's vice versa. Nori hangs out with single friends as well. And of course, they don't have the big drama that Miles have, that Amber has, that Money have. They don't have it, but they do have issues that they want to, fix in their marriage. So not every relationship has any toxic, toxicity in it. Not every relationship has a whole lot of unresolved issues. Sometimes it can be something that's so small, but we let it sit and fester so much, we didn't realize it was tarnishing our relationship before we got a chance to talk about it, how it's gotten bigger in this. So the challenge is, I would say, breaking down the wall. So they go out to the front, they see a production of bricks, and each brick represents what you've been through, what you've witnessed, what you felt. And they're talking about, if you've been through this, take a brick. We're talking about, breaking down that wall, breaking down that hurt, that sadness that has happened to you before, that pretty much forms you into how you are today. So Dr. Ish starts talking. Were you ever bullied as a child? Miles picked up a brick. Were you ever assaulted by a loved one? Money, Miles, and Amber picked up a brick. Money explained how she was pretty much assaulted in front of her children. It was during that time with her ex-husband. He was abusive, and he had the audacity, the gall, the gumption, the no whereabouts, no wherewithal to abuse Money in front of her children. And it's kind of like, damn, she went through all of that, and what stemmed to the abuse in her also stemmed in her children. Were you ever in fear by anyone in your immediate family? Nori took a piece of brick and she talked about how strict her father was. Her father would be so strict that she'll be afraid she did anything differently, she would get punished. And that was pretty much a comparison of who the man that she married, because she married someone like her father, Nori. Nori felt like it was a stab, that she feared her father, but to have her say she's comparing that to me, she's in fear of me. Wow. Well, she kind of is, because she feels like she can't do nothing around it. You try to like stop her any given turn for her to branch out on her own with support, but yeah, you want to bring her back down to be there for you, but you can't be there for her. Have you ever experienced? Have you ever lost someone so young in life? Amber picked up a brick. Nori Nori picked up a brick. Money picked up a brick, and Tough picked up a brick. Tough lost his father when he was 6, and Nori went through the same thing. He lost his father when he was 21. So now losing a parent at such a young age, especially even 21, it's like that. That's adult. You know what I'm saying? You lost your parent right at the pivotal moment of your adult life. You had him through your childhood, right? But when it comes to the adult world, he's gone. And Tough lost his father at the age of 6, which is a very young age to lose your parent. And as Tough is taking more bricks off, we now see a pop out of a cutout picture of his mother. And he stopped and looked. And he said, I recognize those eyes anywhere. That's my mother. She died in 2016. And he says, no matter how far I am, I'll always recognize those eyes. Those were my mother's. And as Tough starts walking away, he walked away slowly, and you could tell he started to start crying. Money is instantly bawling. Like, she was instantly crying. She's bending over. She is really like feeling all of the loss and all of the pain, but she's feeling it for Tough. She's feeling it for him. And the doctor is like, I'm amazed that you're feeling so much more. You're feeling so much loss for him. Like she said, he's lost so much at such a young age. At a lot of times, he's lost so much. She's crying, but yet I'm not seeing Tough walk over, give her no warmness, no hug, no it's okay. He's just standing there, wiping his tears. Money's bent over, crying for you. You can't go over there and hug her, give her some type of affection, and it's back on Money. Money is sitting there crying for him, but she's not approaching Tough in a support, in a loving, I got you manner. It's like both of y'all don't exhibit affection towards each other. And I'm more lean on Tough, because Money's been vulnerable this entire time. She's giving. You know what I'm saying? She's showing her emotion. The one thing that's making Tough cry was his mother's death. Of course it will. But as far as like him showing any emotions, to be around someone who also is going to wipe those tears and say, you can cry on my shoulders, it's okay. How old were you when you were exposed to guns? Miles took, a lot of people picked up a brick. Miles took a brick. I believe Nori took a brick. And as everybody, as one by one, everybody's taking brick by brick, and we're seeing a whole lot of collages of cut out pictures of them when they were babies, when they were teenagers, when they were adults, family members. It's all coming out as the bricks lessen and lessen. So we're hearing the story about how Miles was introduced to guns at a young age. His mother had a party, and he was around 3 years old, and there was a scuffle. There was two men going back and forth with each other. They both put out guns. As the other man is chasing the other guy, the guy decides to pick up Miles and use him as a shield to avoid getting shot. I was like, are you serious? Listen, when I was watching this episode, I was crying my eyes out, because me and my husband have experienced quite a couple of losses in our relationships together. And it's just crazy how, the family that you have, and you try to make sure you see them before they go, and while they're gone, is like, are they really gone? But back to the thing. How was it that you had it was an adult party, I believe. I don't think it was a family function. It was an adult party, and you had these two men waving guns around your house, and yet this one man decides to pick up your 3-year-old son. Where were you? And where were any other of the men in the family to take that son or to take the boy away from him? He was 3 years old. He'll know what the hell's going on. That was crazy as hell. It's like by the grace of God that nothing happened, that Miles is still here today to tell the story, but it was still a very traumatic moment that something could have happened. Swear to God, y'all think having guns is like the way of life right now. It's not funny. It's not cute to just carry like that. Oh, I don't like that at all. It was very terrifying. and and for Nori, it was the same thing for him because he grew up around it. His where he lived was so bad. It was he saw prostitutes, drug dealers, gun violence everywhere, and he just felt like that type of living was normal. Um, then we're also, talking. Yeah, we're also talking about Nori as well because Nori talked about how he lost his father. His father died, and there are times where Nori has regretted, what if I spend time more? What if I helped out with this? And when it came down to him getting influence as a rapper, he believed that his father didn't believe him. His father didn't believe that he was rapping. He thought he was a drug dealer. That's where all his money came from. He never believed that he would have been a rapper. Like he was bullshitting. So he felt all those times when I was on tour, I could have been staying at home. And by the time I wanted to do that, my father left. And I did not grieve. I did not mourn. I just kept it moving. He just kept going. And it's like, oh my God, Nori, come on, dig deeper. I know you got more in you. Like he was just going left and right, just talking and talking and talking, and that's all he kept on saying. So all the questions kept on, going down. Has any of you felt ugly, abandoned, lied to? Have anybody felt you had to grow up too fast? Amber picked up as many bricks as she can. Has anybody felt betrayed? Has anybody have ever tried drugs, alcohol at any young age? Have any of you guys helped out to raise children that weren't yours? Amber immediately went up and grabbed Brick. So she talked about how when she was around the age of 14, she lived with her grandmother and then shortly moved in with her aunt's little sister. No, her mom's little sister. And her aunt had 8 children. And from 14 to 16, she was pretty much, the mother. Because her grandma, her aunt, I think her mother, they were all gone. All partying, leaving out all days in the night, not coming home, days at a time. She had to miss school because there was nobody else to watch them. And it's very sad that you look on the oldest of the family members as far as like the kids. You know what I'm saying? When a kid see a girl or a boy at the age of 16, 15, they believe that they're old enough to watch their siblings, right? They're old enough to watch a 5-year-old, old enough to take care of a newborn. It is not your kid's job to raise their kids for you, so you can have an in-home babysitter to do what you want to do. When my mother was working, she had my sisters. And my sister was 6 and my youngest sister was 9 months. I had just graduated from high school. So I definitely, took a charge. And when she asked me, can I watch the sister and watch the girls? I said, of course, no problem. My mother felt guilty that for a whole year, I was pretty much, an instant babysitter, almost, a bonus mother to my sister, Sasha. And she felt guilty because this was not supposed to be my daughter's job. My daughter's job is to live her life, go to school, work, make something of herself. She's not supposed to stay at home all day and watch a baby that's not hers. Even though I did not mind it because I enjoyed spending time with my sisters. I had a good time. But my mom felt guilty. She was gone to work so much that she felt like it hindered my step into my adulthood after high school. And it does suck though that type of responsibility is put upon you. And it's kind of like, look on what you did. You know what I'm saying? Look at the circumstances of what the mother went through. She had 8 children. And I don't know if those 8 children, she's in any contact with the baby father, but at the same point in time, girl, you've had them children. That means you're supposed to come up with a way for you to make sure they're okay. Not bestow a huge responsibility to a 14-year-old. So Amber definitely felt like her childhood was taken away. Her childhood, was taken away. She never grew up. She never had a chance to live her life as a normal kid. She had to instantly step into a mom role, which is crazy for real. Yep. And then she just felt like so the whole entire sorry, I'm saying a lot. So the whole entire process was these are the things that pretty much form the wall in your heart. And we have to start breaking down those walls. Because all the things you guys have went through, y'all took it and placed it in part of your life and part of your adulthood, and you use it without realizing where it's coming from. So we got to figure out how to break those walls down. Because are you keeping the wall in to prevent yourself from getting hurt, or are you pushing, or are you not, are you pushing out what you couldn't get a chance to like let out? Are you pushing it? Because since the wall is so solidified, you're having a hard time breaking free to let it all out. It's just bouncing back left and forth. So now that the drills ended, everybody's taking some time and relax. And yeah. So then they're talking about, how everybody else felt and where is this gonna go? Where is the drills gonna take us? So then Miles asked Money, have you ever had anybody who was killed? She said her aunt. Her aunt was pretty much, I believe, her best friend, someone that she was really close to. She died when she was 12. She also had cancer. And there was an old 1950s Hollywood photo that her mother looked exactly like, her aunt looks exactly like Dorothy Dandridge. And Miles asked, how did she pass? And she said, we found out her husband was cheating on her. And in her traumatic state, she got into the car, started driving, and she was in a car accident. So obviously she said, wow, that hit me. And then that's when Money realized that she is exactly where she needs to be, because she's trying to go through every obstacle, every opportunity she can to figure out what's going on between her and Tough. She feels like, I want us to get through this. I want us to move forward. I want us to let it go and find a way to stay together, because I don't want nothing like this to happen to us. I don't want us to go out in a devastating way. But you guys are not married. You guys are living separately. I'm trying to understand, what is it you guys are keeping together for? Are you trying to keep together for a stable co-parent situation? Because as far as being a loving relationship, I can't tell. But I feel like Money doesn't want to be alone. But I also feel like Tough wants to be taken care of. I don't know if Tough knows how to live on his own 2 feet. I don't know, because we don't know nothing about, as far as like, what does he bring to the table. That's all I'm gonna hear. So all the people come outside, and that's when they bring the child actors to represent, all the boot campers as their younger self. So Money talks to a little girl to tell her, be aware, as you get older, you're going to be with a man who's going to be physically and emotionally abusive. She said, will my aunt be there to help me? No, your aunt will be there to help you, but I want you to be aware of all the signs, and I also want you to know that this is not your fault. Nothing that you could have said or done warranted that behavior is going to happen to you. And also realize that you need to be more aware than you are, because it's going to affect your children. And it's just kind of like, while saying this to your younger self, do you honestly think there's going to be any different outcome than what you have now? Well, because Money realized at any given turn, if I wanted to change the abuse was, change the narrative, it still would have been what it was, because abusers don't change. They will still find a way to abuse you. So we get to Tough. He is talking about the loss, because that's what he had. He had loss. And yeah, because the girl was holding a abuse brick, the little boy's holding a lost brick. So he talks about how he lost his father twice. His father was in jail, then he came out and he died. He lost his mother, and he recently lost his little sister. She had a health issue. Then he said, hearing those losses is not going to make you weak, but don't let those losses scare you. But Money is like, no, say be scared. Don't be guarded. Because you're so guarded where you realize you're trying to find love, but you're not realizing it's right in front of you. You had love. I understand it was taken away from you, but that doesn't mean you won't find it. Yeah, Tough was definitely monotone. He wasn't showing no emotions, not as much as he was when it came down to his mother. But I don't know. I think he was still tapping in that mindset, tell a little boy, don't cry. You know what I'm saying? Just suck it up. It's gonna affect you in a long way. Like, I don't know. So we get to the little girl representing Nori and the little boy representing Neri, and she's telling her that you're going to have men. You gotta have a controlling man in your life. Your father's going to be controlling, and as you get older, you're going to find someone that inmates your father, that inmates you. And you need to know that you have a voice and you need to speak up. Excuse me. And Dr. Ish was like, she needs to do what? Speak up. Do what? Speak up. Yes, Neri, speak up. Because at the end of the day, your voice matters. Because as women in marriage, we tend to diminish our voices to make sure that our husband is taking charge, taking the lead, and we don't want to tear them down by us speaking our voices. But at the same point in time, we have opinions too. We can see things just as much as you see things. to quote a movie from King Richard, don't take my silence for agreeance. You know what I'm saying? Don't. If I don't feel like I want to say something at that moment, doesn't mean that I'm agreeing with you. I'm just not going to talk right now. And yeah, I already said that Neri didn't like to compare it. Nor did not compare it. I already said that. So the little boy is representing Nori. I'm talking about his dad, and his dad was his hero, and he just wanted he wanted to be just like his father. He was caring, he was loving, he was supportive, he was present. But then his father was also a legend in the community. So he kind of felt like he had to share his father with the community and the world, and he didn't feel like he had to have time with him. And when his father passed, he wanted more time, and he felt like he lost that time. When he met Neri at the time of his father's funeral, he felt like, okay, you have blessed me with a sign that you're still gonna be here, and I found it in her. I found out she's gonna be here. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. And yeah, because he wants to be the exact same way. He wants to be present with his wife, present with his kids. Don't want to just be like in a mindset of, I'm there because I pay the bills, or I'm on the road, I'm traveling because I got to pay the bills. And like, he never took the time to have a break. He never took the time to mourn. He never took time to relax. He just kept going and going and going and going and going. That's when he felt neglected, because obviously his father left him at a time where he needed him. He wanted him. But then he realizes that, how do you think she felt? You don't think she wants you home? You don't think she wants you to be around your kids while you have a chance to be around them? And he wants to be a good man. A good father, a good husband. And he wants that time. He wants to be really like his father, because his father has so much love for him. And that's when Nori breaks down and cries. And he instantly, Neri literally just pulled him and gave him a hug. And I was like, aw. Oh, not that, aw. I'm like, aw. And Amber and Miles was like, that's exactly what it was. He is in fear of losing someone that he loves so much. And he doesn't want to waste no time. Doesn't want no time being taken away. But I feel like, Nora, you have to put the time in for it. You know what I'm saying? Neri wants you around. Like, the whole drinking thing is not good for your liver. She wants to be around more and more for me and the kids, for all of our lives to come. And, I enjoyed Nori breaking down this moment. I really did. It was a good moment, because like he said, he was controlling Neri because he's afraid of losing her. But the way that he did it wasn't expressing. When he went down and felt like he didn't get a chance to fully grieve his father, or he felt like he was cut off of all his time with him, he doesn't want it to be abrupted like that. So all the things that he does with Neri, that's for him to prevent her from leaving. He's in fear of losing her. So we get to Miles and Amber. The girl's holding an innocent brick, and she said, "Girl," she said, "Baby girl, I want to let you know your innocence will be taken. You're gonna have to grow up fast, not because you want to, because you have to. And you think that as a kid you get to live your life, you get to enjoy your childhood. No, you feel like as a kid you want to live with your sisters, right? And your mom, no." You're gonna live with something. You're gonna live with someone else. Gonna grow up with something you did not want to grow up into. But you're not gonna be able to do that. But then, of course, what stems you from growing up at such a young age, you're gonna get to all types of crazy stuff. You're gonna do crazy things to get attention because it felt like nobody would see her. I'm sorry I'm yawning so much. I am sorry. I am yawning so much. My God. All this talking, I think. Like she said, you're going to do a whole lot of crazy shit and enter a lot of mess to get noticed, to get attention, because You did not get that attention when you were young because people just overlooked you as to be the mother. They didn't look at you as a kid, didn't see you as a kid. And then she was like, what if you would, if I want to run a whole lot of red lights for y'all to see me now? Do you see me now? Do you see me now? And Lil Brock, he has the word shield as a brick. And that's what Miles is wearing every day, a shield to protect himself from everything. And it's exhausting. He has to keep on holding the shield to protect himself from getting hurt, from anything that's coming after him. He has to hold as protection. Then he talks about a change in his life, his mother passing, on how he's going to change to a man that he knew he wasn't raised to be because she's not there. But, and this what got me, and I started to cry. And as he's talking, Amber is rubbing, and she's holding his hand. She's interlocking his arm. She's rubbing his chest. She's so close to him, and she's there for him. And he's telling him to stay strong. Don't ever change your mind for nobody. Don't ever make you feel like you're not worth it, because you're going to grow up and feeling different about yourself, and you're not going to understand it, but it's going to get better. You just got to get strong and pray to God. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a dope girl that you're going to meet that reminds you of your mother, that's going to be there for you. You can go through so much with her. Keep her around. I was like, oh my God, Miles, are you serious? I was bawling throughout this entire episode, crying. And after that, Amber and Miles are having this long embracing hug that I just like, oh my God, you guys love each other so much. I'm here for it. And the doctor congratulates everybody from participating in this challenge, going deep, great job. And Dr. Ish and Miles has something in common that I didn't think I knew. He said that shield, it gets exhausting to wear, extremely. And, and you have to show yourself. And you feel like, you don't have any freedom to be yourself. It keeps getting covered. And then the doctor revealed that in 4 days, it will be 8 years since his mother passed. And when his mother died, he distanced himself from everybody. He started to become a different person, a man that he knew his mother didn't raise. But when he started to tap back into what he was raised to be, it felt like his heart was broken again because his mom was not there. And, it was just an amazing moment for that to be revealed. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So just talking about the breaking the walls, breaking the wall down, breaking all that, that hard exterior, breaking it down. So everybody breaks for evaluation. Tough, Money, Nori and Neri, they're having dinner, and then they're talking about, the questions that's going to be asked for. Is it? Oh, no, talking about not that part. So they were talking about, how does real go? Because Dr. Ish told them they're gonna have a good night's sleep because they laid it all out, and y'all gonna have a good night's sleep without feeling like you didn't leave nothing but what you felt. So while they're having a conversation, Amber and Miles are over there in the other room. Miles is horny as hell. Horny. He's I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of feeling vulnerable. I need some love. I need some attention. I need some of that sexual healing. So then, Amber was like, all right, y'all, can y'all give us some alone time, please? So they go upstairs to get Mr. Nasty time in. And as the doctor is saying all boot campers to the living room, everybody came down and we're like, where's Miles and Amber? So while we only see the top of Amber's head in the corner of the camera, the other producer, the executive, she calls them down and said, Amber and Miles, come downstairs, please. He said, us? Yes, you. I'm like, y'all can communicate through the mic like that? Oh my God. That was crazy. Can you see them? I mean, you can see them, but oh my God. He's like, I know I heard somebody calling my name. They're getting in. They're getting into Mr. Nasty time right there. And yeah, I laughed when this scene happened. I'm like, oh my God, is it weird? Is it weird that you could probably find a sad moment to get in the mood? Is that weird? Is it weird to get in the mood when something that's, talking about your childhood trauma, your violence? Is that weird? Let me know if that's weird. I just want to know if it's just me. I don't know. It's weird, but I'm like, is it bad? Okay, so the judge come down. She instantly went to Amber and Miles and said, listen, I'm proud of y'all. I understand y'all had a little bit of celebratory, but y'all deserve it. Y'all both stood what you felt. Y'all both let it out. And listen, Amber, don't let nobody else tell you what your choice is. Don't let nobody make you feel like your choice isn't a good choice, because at the end of the day, this is your man. This is your call. You have the choice to say, listen, this is my man. This is my man I want to be with. I don't care what none of y'all got to say. He makes me happy. If you don't like it, go that way. And she gave props to Miles for telling his story, standing in it, facing it. Loved it. And Nori and Neri, as women, we tend to, lose our voices in our marriage. We tend, oh yeah. As far as like, emotions, we could drop a tear quickly. For a man, especially the environment he was raised in, it could be perceived as if, men don't cry. Men have to suck it up and take it like a champ. But it's okay to cry. It does not make you weak of a man if you cry. It makes you a strong man so that you can put in your emotions and say where it came from. And when you go home, Neri, don't be afraid to express yourself. Don't lose your voice, because that's what we can do. We can lose our voice for our husband. Don't do that, because your voice definitely needs to be heard. Tough and money. Now, I can tell that money definitely was hurting for you, but I didn't see no emotional gesture behind it. I didn't see anything. And then she goes to Tough and said, Tough, when you're in the moment, you go straight here. I can't even tell if you have a neck, because I don't see you use it at any turn to look at money. You don't look at her, you don't acknowledge her, you don't go your way to make it where you are literally looking and engaging with her. You don't do it. And it just shows that, are you even comfortable around her? Do you find her like attractive? Do you like sitting next to her? But it wasn't like that. So she said, have a good night. I'm going to see you guys later. So the night is over, and the Dr. Ish noticed that Money and Tough are not sitting together. I mean, they're together, but they're not sitting like a couple, like 2 feet apart. And, because Money and Tough are having a conversation outside, and she hates that she's the one getting called out on their behavior, because she feels like it's not me, it's him. And I don't like I'm the main one getting called on, because we're talking about, engaging emotions and expressions, but you don't do that with me. You don't handhold, you don't hold me, you don't do none of that. Not just here at this house, I'm talking about every day. Because Money feels like everybody else does not pay attention to their body language, but the doctor is. Hence why he called them out about how far apart they were sitting from each other. But Money is like being the one called out. It's not just me, it's him too. Because he's the one that is not showcasing the effects, the emotions behind this relationship. He's not the one doing it. And then there are times I wish you would hug me, corrupt and comfort, but you want to stand there like a sergeant, just And she said, then of course, Tough feel like if I didn't want to be around you, I wouldn't get into bed with you. I wouldn't want to do that. That's because I would sleep on the couch. Are you looking at sex, Tough, or are you looking at the overall? Because when you and Money are in the room, y'all don't look at each other effectively. Y'all don't hold hands. Y'all don't rub. Y'all don't do none of that. So it's kind of like, it's not just sex. I don't know if you're trying to cover up the fact you don't want to show no physical attraction to her, because you're trying to keep the other hoes you have online and saying this is just for a check. I'm just here to showcase that I'm trying to work it out with her, but I don't love her. I don't know. But lie detector day is next week, and there are a lot of questions that they want to know. Money wants to know: are you emotionally equally and available as I am? Like, are you ready to be with me only? Are you ready to express yourself to me? Because Tough doesn't do monogamy. He doesn't do it. So Nori wants to ask Neri, why did it take her so long to change her last name? They got married, but she never wanted to change it. There were a time where she was supposed to go to his hotel, but she wasn't registered under his last name as his wife. She gave them her name, and it took her 5 years to change her last name. So it's kind of like, what was the point? Why did you wait so long to change your last name? She said she was lazy. I don't know what that means, but okay. Um, yeah, and that was pretty much the end of the episode. So we're gonna find out more because remember in the trailer we found out that pretty much half, almost every one of the couple, almost at least one of each couple came with deception. Deception, disgrace. We're gonna find out next week. But that's it, you guys. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.